Hi, Seema. Hi, Alpana. We are seeing probably many people for the first time, so feel free to unmute and introduce yourself.
Hi, I got an invite from Prachiti ma'am.
Oh, amazing.
I've been to all of those people. या तुलना को भेज दे या तुलना को भेज दे मैं मतलब हाई स्पीकर को सवाल करता हुआ है.
There is some background noise, but hi, Sachin. Pranam, Prachiti.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Long time.
Thank you, Mansi. I have joined today as I've seen that Shivo's message, so I have.
Awesome. Great to see you.
Thank you. It was
hello, Shweta. Hi, Shweta.
Hi.
Hi. Are you attending the first time?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. How did you hear about us?
Prachiti.
Wow. Thank you, Prachiti. Prachiti is right here.
Okay.
Awesome. We'll just wait for a few minutes and then we'll get started.
नहीं फिर वो नहीं गाते ना दोनों अलग-अलग आवाज लिखी.
Pranam, Deepa and Alok ji.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Mansi.
Hi.
How are you?
Just amazing.
And how is our hero?
हाँ एकदम मजे में.
हमें याद करता है कभी?
हाँ ना, वो तो he is in love with your fish tank. जब भी हम लोग fish tank के वहाँ जाते हैं तो he is always like दिल्ली को तो बहुत याद करता है, दिल्ली वाली गर्लफ्रेंड्स को.
सही बात है. It's raining in Gurgaon today.
Wow, very unseasonal, no?
Yes, unseasonal.
No, around Diwali or around Shivratri. Actually, we used to have this type of season.
अच्छा.
शिवरात्रि के पहले बारिश होता है जरूर.
अच्छा. So Atin, can I request you to make some of our team members co-hosts?
Complete 99% is complete.
99%. सिर्फ 99% पूरे हो.
Hello. Hello, Preeti. Pranam, Kalpana and Rachana.
प्रणाम वांसी जी.
प्रणाम.
कैसे हैं आप?
एकदम बढ़िया.
Looking very energetic today.
Yeah.
Full of energy. प्रणाम शिवो जी.
प्रणाम.
कैसे हैं आप? ठीक है?
Very good.
Good. Very shakal. Light on.
Sorry. Sorry.
9 बज गए हैं.
Yeah, we will. We had हमारा थोड़ा एक confusion था Zoom link पे.
Yeah,
We'll just
yeah.
give a
Even I
few
got
minutes.
I got a wrong link. It was saying कि this is a wrong link. So I don't know. मैंने 3-4 try किए तो एक में लग गया.
So let's just give a few minutes. I see
Yes,
some new
yes.
people.
Hmm.
Just welcoming them. Amrish. Hi, Amrish. Oh, hi, Nishi.
Hi, Bansi. Pranam.
Pranam, Amrish. Amrish, yeah, nice to see you.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone joining for the first time? Hi, Ajay ji. Hi, Kaveri. Are you joining us for the first time?
No, my name is Pooja. Kaveri is that to me, the Zoom code, my daughter's name. Yeah, I am joining for the first time.
Awesome. Hi, Pooja.
Hi.
How did you hear about us?
Ranjana Dubey. Ranjana Dubey is my family. Yeah, like my elder sister only. She had sent me the link.
Wow.
Hi, Pooja. Thanks
Hi,
for coming.
Ranjini. Welcome, welcome.
Anyone else who's joining us for the first time? Satyam Sada.
Hello, good evening. Good evening. This is Hanswani here from Nasik. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Yes, I'm joining for the first time.
And how did you hear about us?
This is DJ Hanswani. My name is Hanswani. I'm from Nasik.
Yeah. So how did you hear about us?
I'm in your groups, in the 2-3 groups. Quanto group. I'm in that group. I'm in some Osho group also. I got link there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Seema also said she's joining. Seema, how did you hear about us?
One of my friend shared me the link of the group.
Acha, which one, so we can thank them?
डॉक्टर जो एक रिसर्च पर्सन होता है विथ नॉलेज ऑफ एवरीथिंग. हम जानते हैं, मतलब किसी दूसरे को बताते तो हम बताते हैं गुरुदेव.
पापा ने ऊपर के बारे में.
Shiva Swamiji is looking very energetic today.
Thank you. Who is speaking? Navalji.
Sachin sir. Shiva Swamiji, Sachin.
Yes, thank you very much. You are joining first time, right?
Yeah. This session, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining. आप जैसे लोग आएंगे तो फिर मैं एनर्जेटिक हो जाऊंगा ना.
ऐसा क्या?
Mansi, we can start in another 3 minutes. Sharp.
Yes, that sounds good. And if you all see your friends are joining for the first time, please introduce us to them. We'll start in exactly 3 minutes, okay? And if you can, this is going to be a very interactive session. So I request you all to, if you can turn on your cameras, I know we can't meet face to face, but this way, if you all can turn on your cameras, please do. I really appreciate all of them who turned it.
By the way, the first workshop I did on masculine feminine synthesis, Amanoji was participant, and it actually happened at his place. Amanoji,
where is that? Shiva, could you introduce Amanoji?
Yeah, namaste. Amanoji is a very old Osho sannyasin. Not only Osho sannyasin, he is literally the kingpin of Osho's work in Mumbai. So if you ask anyone in Mumbai about Amanoji, ask any Osho sannyasin, they will tell you. And he has a very beautiful resort, which is called Moksh. It is in Namshet.
I have heard so much, and I have seen pictures of that, and I thought it was that one, but I wanted to confirm. Yes, this is just amazing. Seems like an amazing resort.
Hi, Mansi. How are you?
Hello, Manoji. Namaste.
Oh, thank you. You are looking very smart, very genius, very.
Thank you so much.
Very energetic.
Thank
Very
you.
smiling.
Thank you. Hello, Angel. Yeah. So we'll. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Palash. Hi, darling.
आज हम डांस करने वाले हैं।
अरे क्या बात है, क्या बात है। अपना चेहरा तो दिखाओ पहले।
लाइट नहीं है इधर बस
Oh, hi, Harsha. Nice to see you. Rupali, I think I have tried. I could not make you the co-host. I will try again. I think.
Is Atin around? Atin, are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what.
I guess
I'll
there are
try,
some
okay?
people waiting in the.
Yeah. Yeah, so I cannot. I somehow the settings have changed. I cannot make you. So. Okay. Shiva, shall we start?
Yeah, we should start.
Hi, Avani. Welcome.
Hi. So pranam everyone and welcome to Quanto Life. We have so many new faces today and there cannot be a better day. I feel that Ardhanarishwar, the union of masculine and feminine is just one of the deepest, one of the deepest vibrational fields. So thank you so much for joining in. I want to share a little about Quanto Life. Quanto Life is a path of heroes in these chaotic times. In Quanto Life, everyone is a hero. You will not find any followers here. So if you're a hero, you will find a natural ecosystem over here. We work on 3 sutras. There are 3 ways we work. We work on our subconscious. And subconscious is all the patterns we have, the conditionings we have, the belief systems we have inherited, many of which are no longer relevant today. So we work on that subconscious. And today, we are going to take up masculine, feminine synthesis. So we will be taking up, what are the conditionings that come with this? What are the conditionings in? Can I request everyone to mute yourself? So, we work on our subconscious. Just 1 minute. So we have some new people come in. So. Can I request everyone to mute? Thank you. Rupali, can I request you to call Atin and figure out the co-host thing? Maybe he can make you all more people the co-host.
Yeah, Mansi, you're the host now, so you can try now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about this, guys. Just give me a few minutes. Okay, so welcome again. I see a number of people who have joined again, so I'll just repeat myself. Quanto Life is a path of heroes, and we work in 3 ways. We have 3 Quanto Sutras. One is we work on subconscious, that is all our patterns and conditionings, our beliefs, some of them that may not even be relevant in today's world. For example, today we are going to take up masculine feminine synthesis. And, let's say you were in a relationship before, and then maybe you got cheated or betrayed. Then you carry that subconscious in you, right? You carry that wound. So next person comes along, you are still, next person comes along, you might still have that wound, and you may suspect that person even though that person has not done. So we've healed such wounds. The next level is we work on our conscious level, which means we increase our observation. We increase our observation of ourselves and the world around us. So today we'll be doing that also. We'll be looking at how our masculine, feminine relationships in the world, and also we'll be working on ourselves. And finally, we work on the superconscious, which is the divine. We work with Devas, we work with masters, and today we will be invoking Shiva and Shakti and their union. So this is how we work. And I would like to introduce Shivo. Shivo is the founder of Quanto Life, and Shivo's insights on masculine, feminine are something I had never heard before, and I can't wait to get this conversation started with him. So before we get started, again, I want to remind you, this is a very interactive session. We welcome your questions on chat, and we'll also call on y'all to ask those questions. So first, just to get ourselves warmed up, I would like you to think about, we started this conversation on our Future of Human Evolution group. I would like y'all to think about, we all have masculine and feminine qualities in us, So can you all think about one masculine quality you have and one feminine quality you have? And can you put it on the chat? One masculine, and if you're not sure, we will get deeper into it. You can still share or you can ask questions. So one masculine and one feminine quality. Would anyone like to share in the chat? I welcome all our friends, including our code members, to start posting. For example, I think one feminine quality I have is perhaps wanting to see beauty in people, in things, in nature. I think I would say that. Or yeah, Rupali says beauty too, and your strength, you see it as masculine. Lalitji says caring is his feminine quality and masculine is courage. Seema says feminine is emotional, masculine is strength. Hi, Anika. Harsha says masculine is to take lead, feminine is beauty with brains. Very beautiful. Preeti says feminine is love and caring, masculine is fighter spirit. Very good. Kaveri, you say sensitive. I guess you're saying the feminine is sensitive. Prachiti says masculine is community bonding, feminine is caring. Avani says feminine is multitasking with ease. Masculine is lion ruler. Deepa says love and surrender are feminine. Gaurav says care. Deepa says strength is masculine. Galaxy S10 says masculine is passion. Guys, feel free to change your name, okay? You can rename yourself. So Alpina says feminine is communicating, communicative. Masculine is commanding. Very, very beautiful. Rashi says feminine is sensitive and grounded. Masculine is outgoing.
I'll see you later. Or in summer.
Yes, Isha.
I'll see you later. Or in summer.
So we have Alkaji saying daring in nature is masculine, feminine is living, caring, cooking. Wow. Possessiveness is a masculine quality. So we are hearing now that people are sharing that what is a feminine and masculine essence and what are their strengths, but also what are their, maybe blocks, or what is their subconscious, like maybe possessiveness. Shiva, would you like to weigh in on what is the feminine and masculine essence? We've had such amazing responses.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what we want to discuss during whole of the session, is to distinguish masculine and feminine, because when we are able to distinguish that, we will be able to understand why is there conflict, right? And once we know why there is conflict, we will be able to dissolve it with very simple understanding. And when there is a perfect harmony, when there is a perfect union in masculine and feminine, our whole life takes a leap. So it is not that the man is masculine and the woman is feminine. It's not just that. Maybe man is more masculine, woman is more feminine, but we all have masculine as well as feminine. And there are some great beings who become 100% masculine and 100% feminine. And one of the great example is Krishna. You will see him totally masculine and yet totally feminine. So we will discuss how are masculine and feminine different, and what is their dynamics, how do they interact, how do they merge, and what happens when they merge.
Wonderful, wonderful, Shivu. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat and any questions. So feel free to keep them coming and we'll invite you to share. Shivu, you have mentioned the feminine as energy, as Shakti, right? And masculine Shiva as consciousness. While we understand these words, we understand what they mean, but can you explain how we experience them? What does it really mean? What is the difference between energy and consciousness?
Yeah, so if you really want to understand that how masculine and feminine are different, how the man and woman are different, we have to really understand what is consciousness and what is energy. In fact, in the biggest confusion, biggest misdirection happens in spirituality when consciousness and energy are not understood. They are confused. I've heard a lot of people saying, oh, I'm having great spiritual experience, I'm feeling energy inside. No, sorry, energy experience is not the spiritual experience. So we have to first understand what is consciousness. The consciousness is beyond energy. In scientific terms, I would like to say we call something as electromagnetic field. Now, in electromagnetic field, we have electricity and magnetism both. So both become one actually. But actually the electricity is different and the magnetic field is different. So in terms of vibration, if you see anything that has like electricity, it is a flow, it has a boundary. Okay, magnetism is all pervasive. This electricity merges into the magnetism, and that is the deepest spiritual process. So Shakti merging into Shiva, energy merging into consciousness. So when you experience energy in any spiritual process, it is not spirituality. But when you actually experience energy merging into something. You may experience it like energy dissolving. What is happening is there is an eruption of energy, but that energy now expands and merges into a larger consciousness. This process of merging of energy into consciousness, this is the deepest spirituality. So just the exploring of Shakti is not spirituality. Just the exploring of Shiva is not the complete spirituality again. It is a Shakti merging into Shiva and Shiva manifesting through Shakti. That is a true spirituality. So I'll give you just a few examples. There are a lot of paths which are Shakti paths, only Shakti oriented paths. I'll give you the example. There is this, literally there is a huge movement which is called The Secret, or which is based on visualizations and affirmations.
Law of attraction.
There is a lot of mantra chanting. It's all Shakti. It's not spirituality. It is an experience of energy. On other hand, there are a lot of Shiva paths, okay, which talk about pure soul, right? What is that which is all pervasive? What is that which is common between all of us? This is all Shiva path. Shiva path. So Shiva path is the oneness amongst all. Shakti path is the uniqueness in each being. So even Shiva path is not the complete spirituality. Spirituality is to understand that we all are one and yet we are unique. So the Shakti merging into Shiva and Shiva manifesting through Shakti. So the Shakti merges into Shiva and then Shiva manifests through Shakti. This dynamics is the true spirituality. And we'll go deeper into this.
Shiva, would you also call like inquiry-based methods, like in the Gnan Marg, would that be Shiva-based and then the Bhakti is more Shakti-based, or we can't make that distinction?
Yes. Bhakti is more feminine, and the experience of consciousness is more masculine.
Shiva,
because Bhakti is based on emotions.
Yes. Shiva, see, you're talking about electricity and magnetism, and in our, in our Quanto Life methods, we kind of have felt that electricity also, right? We have felt our subconscious, we have felt our electricity, and then we merge it into, we surrender that to Shiva, and then we feel that expansion, which is more the magnetism of Shiva.
So when we are experiencing our emotions, when we are experiencing the vibrations of our emotions, which are stored within our subconscious, we are actually experiencing the trapped Shakti, right? And when we bring our awareness into that trapped Shakti begin to merge with Shiva. So the Shakti begins to merge with Shiva. And then in the end, we also experience that a more holistic Shakti begins to dawn. So when we are actually manifesting something creatively in our life, again, Shiva is manifesting through Shakti. See, in itself, Shiva is inert. Shiva has no dynamism. Shiva is inert. Shiva understands everything, but it doesn't do anything. But Shakti has a very limited understanding, but it is hugely dynamic. So Shiva in itself would be very indifferent, very inert, non-active totally. But Shakti in itself, now this is also true about men. And what is also true about women in general, I'm not saying it's a rule, because all women are men also and all men are women also. So take it with that qualification. But Shakti can either align itself with consciousness or with ego. And so Shiva acts only with Shakti. But if Shakti is not acting with Shiva, not acting with consciousness, if if it is acting with ego, Shakti is going to destruct itself. So Shakti without Shiva is self-destructive. A lot of people talk about creative energy, destructive energy. There is nothing like creative energy, nothing destructive energy. Shakti without Shiva is totally destructive. And Shakti merging into Shiva is creative. Energy with consciousness is always creative. Energy without consciousness is always destructive.
Shiva, we have some questions here from Ashutosh. Ashutosh says, where is the source of Shiva and Shakti? I thought that was primordial.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's a very good question. And this is one of the deepest philosophical questions which has always been asked. But the truth is, nobody knows the answer for this. So the final answer is, Shiva always existed, Shakti always existed. So according to one story of creation, so Shiva is sleeping means there is no consciousness. Okay. There is Adi Shiva which is sleeping, and there is Adi Shakti which comes and nudges him. She says, okay, wake up, time to create. And Shiva wakes up and the creation begins. Right? So there is no source of Shiva, there is no source of consciousness, there is no source of Shakti because it always exists. Yes, there is Shakti which exists without consciousness. And in mythological term, we call it Ma Kali. Scientists call it quantum foam. Now, what is quantum foam basically? So let's say there is an atom. Okay. Now this atom has got electron, neutron, proton. It has got, those quantas, very small particles. All these particles, infinite particles exist in consciousness, in the world. This is what we call Ma Kali. But these particles are not organized as atom. So there's no creation. In spiritual terms, we also call it the primal force or the complete unconscious. If you see the people who are extremely unconscious, they have a lot of force. They have a lot of intensity, like asuras, or if you see the devils or mafias, the people who are very unconscious, they have a lot of energy. So this is the energy of Ma Kali. Now, now it is a known scientific fact that the cosmos is constantly evolving, constantly expanding and accelerating. So from where this energy is coming? Why is cosmos all the time expanding? Why are we humans are always evolving? From where our energy of evolution comes? See, when we see there is a principle of Aham Brahmasmi, that I am God, that means the principles of how the cosmos is evolving and expanding, and principle of how humans are evolving and expanding, they both are same. In our purest form, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. And whatever is the longing of God is also my own longing. All right? So from where God gets its energy? Why is cosmos expanding? This is a very deep question which has been asked in science. And scientists say that it is the existence of antimatter. It is the cosmos expands because of antimatter. Antimatter is pure Shakti without Shiva. Now, it is said that less than 1 gram of antimatter is sufficient to fulfill the whole requirement of energy of the whole of the Mumbai city for 1 year. Just less than 1 gram of antimatter. Antimatter is that powerful. So in that, TV series which became very popular, Star Trek, there is this spaceship which travels from, one end of galaxy to another end. That spaceship has got fuel as antimatter. And today scientists say that the cosmos is expanding because there was a blast of antimatter to begin with. So without Shakti, Shiva can't expand, right? That is the primal force. That is the pure energy without any consciousness. But antimatter is extremely destructive. So this is why the two forces were created. See, one of the beautiful point of Hinduism is Hindu philosophy is very unique. If you see all the Western religion, Islam and Christianity and Jews, they all will talk about that there is a God and there is a devil, and in the world there is struggle going on, and you have to go towards God and not towards devil. But in Hindu philosophy, it is God who creates the Devas and Asuras both. And people always wonder that, why God will create an evil? Why Shiva will give boons to Asuras? So Bhasmasur is doing tapasya and he says, I want this boon. If I keep my hand on anybody's head, and that person will burn. And Shiva grants that wish. And people, a lot of Western scholars and even Indians, Hindus, they are aghast. What kind of a God is this? Right? Which is even giving boons to the Asuras. But Hindu philosophy also has a deep understanding that these are the two principles. Energy, the raw primal energy. Without that, no evolution will happen. So within us also is that primal energy. There is that primal energy of rage, revenge, anger, hatred. All that is there inside us. In itself, this energy will destroy us. But bring observation to it, bring it into consciousness, the same energy becomes a creative energy. So this is the interaction of masculine and feminine.
Thank you, Shivo. There are some more questions. I feel you have answered some of them. We have Anagha asking, does spirituality have any connection with the Big Bang? Shiva has talked, but Shiva, would you like to talk about that? Or Mukul asks, how about Rudra?
Yeah. All the time, Big Bang is happening inside us. Whenever there's a new opening, it's like a Big Bang. And now the scientists have also proven that Big Bang is not a one-time phenomena. It is consistently happening. That's why cosmos is expanding and accelerating.
Yeah.
Yes, Mansi.
Shivu, so, is this a good time to share about our workshop before we start talking about, today we are going to discuss about masculine, feminine synthesis in more general terms because it's a public session, but we are also going to discuss this more intimately. And I will just share a course that is coming up just following Mahashivratri. So this is the course. It is Ardhanarishwar. It is masculine feminine synthesis. It is going to be for 9 days from 12th March to 20th March. And one of the statements that Shivo had made, it was really life-changing for a lot of us. We were having this live session in Lonavala on Ardhanarishwar. And, I will admit that I am someone who loves being feminine. And I was like, I was also thinking that if I become more masculine, am I losing my femininity? Like, I realized some of the problems that come from not having some of those masculine qualities, but I was very concerned that I will lose the things I love about, like, being receptive to people. And I thought I would lose that. And, Shivo said that Ardhanarishwar is not about being 50% man and 50% woman, but being 100% man and 100% woman. So this was like, I had never heard anything like this. This was like one of those things that really blew my mind away. And this course is, we're going to enhance on a personal level enhance our masculine and feminine qualities. We are going to resolve the gender conflicts that we have in our life. I think Shiva will talk about that, but there's a lot of gender conflicts everywhere in different forms. We even saw some of that in our groups, when we were discussing, there are these conflicts. How do we resolve it on an individual as well as start resolving it on a collective level? What are the, secrets of blissful intimacy, of blissful sex? How can you take, because when the masculine and feminine come together, when these qualities come together, outside in the world, but also in ourselves, how there is new creation happening and how we can bring that in our lives. And finally, we would also talk about Kundalini Yoga, how to activate the Kundalini. And there are many places out there where they talk about activation of Kundalini, but not the surrender. And I'll invite Shivo to talk more about that. And also how to, through Kundalini activation, how to reach Aham Brahmasmi. So this is our course. If you're interested, please let us know. This is Rupali and Natika's contact number. We will put it in your Future of Evolution group. So please let us know if you're interested or if you have any questions. Shiva, can I invite you to talk a little more about the course that we are having?
Yeah, so this course will actually resolve the issues within ourselves. When there is disharmony within ourselves, within our masculine, feminine, that's when we have the conflicts outside. And all the conflicts, they also have the beginning from our subconscious. There is something we experience in our past lives, and that is why those conflicts have come. So our dislike for our own gender or the opposite gender, all this is stored inside us. And when we work on our subconscious, these issues can be resolved. And when the feminine and masculine begin to merge inside us, it also begin to merge outside us. You would see that the feminine masculine forces will begin to work in harmony when it has happened within you. And the merger of masculine and feminine not just create new creation in terms of children through sexual union, but every creation in this life is because of the merger of masculine and feminine. Whenever we creatively manifest, whenever we create something new in our life, it's because our masculine and feminine have merged. So you will also discover the deep sutras of accomplishments, of success, of creative manifestation, the sutras to become charismatic. What is charisma basically? When, this is something we discovered in that Lonavala workshop. When I'm taking the workshop, there are those instant spontaneous revelation that happened to me. So just this revelation happened to me that, okay, what is charisma basically? Which person is charismatic? So when your Swadhistram Chakra and when your Manipur Chakra, when they begin to merge into one, that is the kind of a person who becomes charismatic. So we will discover a lot of these sutras which happen by merger of, by synthesis of masculine and feminine. So that's what we are going to talk about in 9 days. And a little glimpse of that we are talking today. The difference between what we are talking today and what will happen in workshop is that today we are talking in terms of concepts, but in workshop we will actually work on individual level. We will explore for each participant that what is their inner state, what is their masculinity, femininity, their own conflicts, harmony, the real situation. And we will dissolve. It's not a conceptual workshop, it's an experiential workshop when you will actually take leaps. So that is a difference. Yes, Mansi.
So there are more questions coming. Some we will keep taking and we'll be introducing them throughout the session. And some I also encourage us to keep having this conversation on our group because, we have limited time today so we may not be able to get into everything. Shivu, you started talking about the solar plexus and the Swadhisthana, so I want to go more into that. But before that, how can we tell whether we are, would we be able to tell? I think Navalji is asking, how can we tell that if someone is 100% masculine or 100% feminine? Like, how do we know that we have enhanced our femininity and masculinity?
Let's understand the structure of masculine and feminine within us. If we understand the 7 chakras, okay, the chakras are, I'm just going to explain through chakras, the concept, okay? So I do not consider chakras as a very higher truth. See, we have this physical body. After that, we have the second body, which is energy body. Chakras are part of the second body. So when you understand chakras, you will understand only your second body. Then there is a third body, which is the emotional mental body. There is a fourth body, a causal or vibrational body. So most of the practices of Quanto Life, they are belonging to the fourth body, the vibrational body. And then we have bliss body, and then we have 2 more bodies. So, but it will help to understand the feminine within us, the masculine within us, if we understand our chakra structure. So Mansi, are we ready to understand the chakras and what are the qualities?
I think so. I think so. We can get into that.
And once we are done with discussing of chakras, then we will really get into the crux, the essence of what is masculine, what is feminine, just one single insight. And when you will understand that one single insight, lot of things in your life will begin to resolve by itself. Once you understand that one single insight, I can promise you, all men will begin to respect women, and all women will begin to respect men. When you understand that one key insight, and when men respect women and women respect men, I would say more than half of the conflicts of the world are over. Yes, Mansi.
Yes.
So let's begin with.
Yes. Please continue explaining that how chakras, because before I heard from you, I knew the 7 chakras, but I didn't really realize that they were masculine and feminine. And could you just walk us through that?
Yeah. So we have the first chakra, the root chakra, is actually a masculine chakra. So the first chakra, root chakra, is about the fight for survival. That's a very masculine trait, right? Our efforts to remain alive, like every animal also makes effort to remain alive, right? So that's very masculine, okay? So it's like whoever is more powerful wins, and that was the time we had 2000 years back, or even 500 years back, when we were going through the war Kali Yuga. So whoever could fight, whoever could kill others, kill the other person, will survive. So that was the root chakra time, basically, right? So that is the first chakra. Now the second chakra is feminine. And the second chakra is about the structure, about the order, about the transaction, about the society, about the systems, right? It's about give and take relationship. So in the first chakra, root chakra, there is no give and take relationship. If I kill you, everything you have is mine. So there is no give and take. If you kill me, you take all, right? So, but in the second chakra, there is give and take. And it is the give and take which create the society. So the second chakra got activated 300 years back. And if you see, the stability in society came in past 300 years. And that is when the feminism really began to become a force. That's when all the feminist movement started. I think the first feminist movement started somewhere in the end of 18th century. So that's when the female began to get empowered, because there was more structure in society. There was more stability in society. So it was not the brute force that remained important, but a systems came, legal system came, judicial systems came, democracy came. So it became all about being part of the system and being able to manage the system. So there was these stable times, and that's when the females really flourished, because the second chakra really belongs to females. So in today's world, most of the men are still at the root chakra, and most of the women are at the Swadhistram Chakra. So that is why in today's time, in today's world, if you see, in terms of the mass phenomena, it will appear to you that woman is doing better than man. Because we are into a society which is very systematic, which is very stable. And stability is the feature when the femininity flourishes. Right? Men flourish in chaos, in change. Put man in stable environment, he will finish. There will be no masculinity left in him. And put female into chaotic environment, the femininity will collapse. I'll give you very, I know that as I talk more about this, a lot of people will contradict this particular simple insight that men flourish in chaos, women flourish in stability. But I'll give you one evidence, which is, I would say it's the final evidence of what I'm saying. So let's look at nature. Let's look at seed. How does a seed become a tree? It needs a lot of stability. When there is that stability, that seed will extract the nutrient it needs from everywhere, from that land, and it will become the tree. Now plant another seed in the same land, it will extract something different from the same land, right? That is femininity. It knows how to extract the juice from the situation. Same way a child is born. The highest possibility, probably all of us will agree, for a woman is to be mother. Now, mother needs what kind of conditions? Does she need stability or does she need the chaos? What would you say? Can a woman give birth if she is chaotic during the pregnancy? Will it be able to give even birth? When the child is nurtured best, when the mother has been in very good emotional condition, when she got the proper regular nutrition, right? So for woman to really flourish to her highest potential, deep stability is needed. Deep stability. So in the stable environment, what woman can create, no man can ever create. Why? Because she knows this art of extracting the juice from every situation that is needed for her own work to flourish. She has that art inherent in herself. Man doesn't know this art. Put man into stable environment, he will not know what is he doing there. You understand? That is why it is women who can cook good food every day. Man can cook a wonderful dish someday, but not the food for every day. Man will not be able to do that. Right? So when it comes to any stable environment, it is a female who will excel. When it comes to all the chaotic environments, it is a man who will do best. So in the environments of war, men did very well. In the environment of hunting, men did very well. Why men did very well? It's a very chaotic environment. He's going into the jungle. He doesn't know whether he will get a prey or he will be preyed by someone. Right? So he has to look everywhere, whether You know, the eyes of tiger are shining from somewhere. He has to look far. And his attention will be like dispersed in a vast environment. That's what the consciousness is. See, the consciousness has got a lot of breadth, but it has no depth. But the energy has a lot of depth, but no breadth. That's the difference. So, for men, it is extremely difficult to live here and now. Living in the moment is very difficult for man, because man lives all the time in past, present, and future. But woman can live in this moment. Same way, woman can remain satisfied with what she considers her own. But man will not be satisfied. Man will always look beyond everything. Right? He will look at his home, he will look at society, he will look at cosmos and everything. So man has got immense breadth, but the woman has got immense depth. So both together results into creation. If it was only living in the moment, if you did not look beyond, there would be no progress in the world. But if you just look beyond, there would be no joy in the world. Yes, Mansi.
Yeah, so I want to, I want to clarify certain things. So we are talking about masculine and feminine. So a female can be very masculine. Okay, so in that case, a female can be a hunter. Raghuji was saying, there are so many, all the 5-star hotels have chefs as men, not as women. But then again, it is an accomplishment. If you're working in a 5-star hotel, it's an accomplishment. It is solar plexus, which is masculine. And there are many men who can cook just for the pleasure of things, and they have probably more feminine qualities. So please understand the difference. And this whole chakra system, if you put humanity, all the humans, men and women, in that chakra system, it is like a pyramid. It is like a triangle where you have maximum men at the root chakra, then you have females at the Swadhistram, then you have men again at the solar plexus. But again, it is masculine, and the chakras are masculine and feminine. And sometimes we use that man and woman, interchangeably. We use, we interchange man for masculine and masculine for man. But please know that when we talk about these qualities, we are mostly talking about masculine and feminine qualities. And a man and woman can have some
talking about that Shiva is Ardhanarishwar. He is 100% man and 100% woman, right? So that is a final aim for all of us, to be 100% man and to be 100% woman.
Shivo, there was one thing that cropped to me, because people was that, when feminism started, when women started getting more empowered, they were at the Swadhistram, but when they started going more for accomplishments, many of the women started dressing like men. They started, they started, being more and more masculine, but also being more and more man-like. Do you think in that case they were denying their Swadhisthana and going
they were
into...
they were trying to be like men, actually.
So instead of the Swadhisthana and solar plexus merging, it was more like they are denying...
There were a lot of funny things which happened in the feminist movement. And one of the funniest things which I read, so there was some charter I'm forgetting. You can just Google and find out. That charter said that we want to create a society which is without men, and the woman should be self-sufficient in all aspects. So they created commune where only women would live, and obviously all of them were, they turned into lesbian, and this whole thing came up that the sexual interaction between woman and woman is more satisfying than between man and woman. A lot of those theories came up, and a lot of sexual satisfaction theories were there, which promoted lesbianism. But they were not really going deep. They were not really going into a very deep potential of sexuality. So
Shivo,
yeah.
We have one more question here. Guys, I want to just, that we are talking concepts here, but towards the end of the session, we will be going into the invocation where you will experience some of these things we are talking about. Ashutosh wants to know what are the top 3 things we should incorporate so that we become 100% masculine and 100% feminine.
Yeah, so the masculine and feminine, it may appear contradictory and paradoxical to you, but actually it is not. And this you will experience only when you reach the crown chakra. Only at Sahasrara you will understand. Can you be 100% aggressive, exploratory, and yet 100% sensitive and receptive? Is it possible? See, females are supposed to be more receptive and sensitive. Male are supposed to be more exploratory and aggressive. But is it possible to be same? See, if you look at Aham Brahmasmi, what is that? Aham Brahmasmi is a perfect merger where the complete integration of man and woman has happened. It is a complete state of exploration and aggression because you are existing in the whole cosmos, and yet you are totally receptive and sensitive because the cosmos is manifesting through you. So you are the man and you are the woman in that moment. That is Ardhanarishwar. So I have often talked about this, that the stage of Aham Brahmasmi, and today I'm saying the stage of Ardhanarishwar is your deep connection with space, is you understanding that you exist in the whole space and the whole space acts through you. It channels through you, it manifests through you. That is where you will see every quality of men and women will become harmonized. There will be no paradox.
So Shivo, this is possible only in sadhana, right? Through sadhana, right?
Yes. If I have to say one sutra for the masculine feminine merger, again that sutra is very simple, that we have got this huge subconscious inside us, which is bounded, right? And it has its own electromagnetic fields. When we bring it into observation from inside, it start to spread outside, and your magnetic field begin to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's when you start to connect with space. And then you do not remain a limited being who is embodied in this physical form, but you become the manifestation, the channel of the whole of the cosmos. You are a unique being and whole of the cosmos is channeling through you. This is the state of Ardhanarishwar. This is where all masculinity, all femininity merges into one. There is no paradox left after that.
Very beautiful, Shivo. Today we have so many people who have joined us for the first time, and we also have people who have done these quantum practices and have experienced, the Shiva and Shakti in them. So Shivo, just to give an example, I just want to say that, when you get angry, right? When you feel your anger, what happens? You get very hot, your nostrils flare up, and all this is like that is a outburst of Shakti, which is in a certain part of your body. And when we do synthesis, we are going into complete relaxation. That energy is now becoming holistic. It's becoming part of everything. And that is in a small way where Shakti has merged into Shiva, has become one with Shiva. So this is what we do in our synthesis process. Okay. And Shiva, Atin asked a very beautiful question, and I actually wanted to bring that up. So Atin, thank you for sharing that. So Atin says that can we reach, let me get his exact question. He says that can we move deeper into the spiritual journey or reach that begin that journey towards Ardhanarishwar without a relationship?
I would say that the man and woman exist inside us, and when the merger happens within us, it will also manifest outside. So if the man and woman within you have merged, even in the world they will merge.
Shivo, so
You will automatically attract. For anyone who has had this synthesis of masculine and feminine within, will always connect very deep with their own gender and the opposite gender. He will find beauty and satisfaction in all relationships, and all best relationships will get attracted to that person.
Yeah, I think of Krishna. He had the
Yeah,
most
so, but
beautiful relationship with the mother, with
yeah, if opposite gender relationship is missing, that means we are actually missing in those qualities. So if somebody is not having female in his life, probably that person has not cultivated the feminine qualities within himself. And what is a feminine quality? Feminine quality is to be able to relate, is to be able to see beauty in everything, to create beauty, to manage things, right? When that dimension is not existing inside us, it's a missing female within us.
So yeah, and Shivo, if we don't have, so this workshop is not just for people who are in a relationship, but also, it's open for everyone, because as Shiva said, we are doing the synthesis of the masculine and feminine in us. And also, even if we don't have a romantic partner in our life, we do have relationships with the other gender, right? Everywhere, in different capacities. And also we are related to them. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to read the questions, but one question just popped up, that Hitler also had a relationship. Yeah, one of the one thing which is common amongst all perpetrators, that they had a very, very skewed sense of femininity and masculinity. So it is said about Hitler, I don't know how much it is true or not, that he was missing one testicle. So he had a very, very incomplete sense of his own masculinity. And that was a void he was trying to fill in his own life. And he always had very bad relationship with women. And the reason he could get woman in his life is because of his power. There was no relationship because he had so much power. So yeah, and that kind of a skewed relating also led to his destruction, because he had no sense of love, compassion. To accomplish his ambition, he would go to any cruel extent. So that was his collapse. So I would say he was completely missing in femininity. There was hardly any feminine dimension of Hitler.
Shivo, since we're talking about Hitler and we're talking about, masculinity, there are these new terminologies that have come, that is alpha men and beta men. I don't know how many of you have heard. Have you heard
so let's talk about the solar plexus, and then we'll talk about these alpha men and beta men.
Okay, let's talk about the masculine, and then we'll talk about the two types. And
so the woman is the Swadhistram Chakra is all about getting grounded in this moment, because the Swadhistram Chakra is about the pleasure, all kind of pleasure. Pleasure of food, the pleasure of fragrances, the pleasure of sex, the pleasure of music, everything. Okay. And woman is really good in enjoying it, enjoying the life. So you will find that woman always enjoys far more than man. Just see two women talking to each other. You will realize that how much pleasure they are having just in talking. Men don't have pleasure in talking to each other. I can promise you that. They may be exploring, they may be learning, they may be working for a vision, but they are not having pleasure in talking to each other. Right? So that is a woman dimension, that in pleasure in everything. That is why they can live in this moment, because even when they are doing their normal regular task, they're still having pleasure. That dimension of pleasure is still erupting. So they can cook the same food every day and still have pleasure in that. Right? That is what makes women excellent as, you know, the all kind of relationship managers. No wonder you will find women everywhere as relationship managers. And let me tell you, that also makes them better CEOs than men. Okay, because what is the role of CEO? Role of CEO is to understand every system, to understand every person, to understand the whole business environment. It's literally like creating a child. Whatever is needed from the environment, that is sucked in to nurture. That's what a CEO is. And that is why you see that there are a lot of CEOs. A lot of CEOs today are women. There is more and more women becoming CEOs. Okay, so that is Swadhistram Chakra. Now let's come to the solar plexus. So today's time is the ascending Dwapar, and right now in current time the solar plexus is really activated. That is why you see all over the world there is a huge desire to become heroes. So that desire is there not just in men but also in women. People will do anything. You know, today today's generation is not very much interested in money. If we really want to understand, this is one difference, one big difference that has come. The role of money. Money is all Swadhistram Chakra. So past 300 years were about money. Whoever had more money was successful. It was money. If you had money, you could become successful, right? If you had money, you will get prestige, you will have power. But that time is not. That time is gone. Money is not the key to today's life. The key to today's life. What is the key longing for today's life? I want to project myself as a unique being. I want to be a hero. I want to be known. I want to be acknowledged. And people would do anything. No, sorry, Prachiti, it's not about glamour and limelight. It's about they want to experience their power. They want to experience that I make impact. Swadhistram Chakra doesn't care about making impact on the world. It is the solar plexus, Manipur, that wants to understand its own power. It wants to feel its power. Okay. Now, when we listen to the word power, we are thinking in terms of ego and in terms of, you know, all the people who are trying to control others. But there is also a spiritual dimension of power. Right? The power means, am I the master of my emotions? Am I the master of my senses? Can I give up my pleasure to accomplish something? Right? Or am I a slave to my senses? That is mastery. And it's a very deep spiritual quality. Right? So now every chakra manifests as spiritual quality and as worldly quality. So this joy, this ananda is the form of Swadhistram Chakra. Rasa, the soma, is that Swadhistram Chakra. But there is also worldly expression in terms of creating beauty and art and food and fashion and sex and everything, right? So this is all the worldly dimension of the second chakra. Same way, there is a worldly dimension of third chakra. And like we talked about, you know, there are all politicians and the heads of companies and all that. Worldly dimension. But what is the inner spiritual dimension? Is the spiritual dimension is to understand my own power. That I can impact the world. I can change the future of others. in the bad terms as well as in the good terms. A creative person will always make a positive change in the world, right? But that desire to create change in the world is solar plexus. And everybody who creates a new concept is a solar chakra person. The woman is very good in transaction, right? She will talk to a customer and she will, okay, how are you doing? Oh, how's your wife? You told me next time, right? If there is a woman shopkeeper and a customer hasn't come for past 15 days and he comes on next day, and she will ask, oh, what happened to you? Why you did not come? What? Oh, your wife. Oh. If there is a man, he wouldn't care about all this. So woman is going to run shop better anyways, right? But man's attention is not there. Man's always want to create a new structure. So every concept you will see, almost every concept is created by man. The capitalism was created by man, the great Adam Smith, and the Karl Marx created the communism, right? Every ism you see, every new concept is created by man, almost. That is why you will see that the entrepreneurs, the most successful entrepreneurs will be men. Because they got to create a new concept. If you see the list of self-made billionaires, there will be hardly any woman in that actually. But as CEO, a woman will be very successful because she gets into the known environment and there she will be more successful than the man. But when it comes to creating a new business, same way if you see, when it is a known environment, let's say in higher education, in PhDs, somewhere I was reading the data that in US universities, 61% enrollment in PhDs is women, right? That's a known, quite a known environment where women will excel. They will really work hard. They have the capacity to work hard. But if you see the Nobel Prize winners, they're 85, 90% you will find men. Because it's about exploring a new environment. When it comes to exploring something new, it is always a man who will accept. If really, so I am really inviting the men here. A lot of men today complain to me that, oh, we are being pushed to sidelines and, you know, we really feel, and in US, it's a very common term, decline of man. I think there was some famous TV series or something which talked about that in past 40 years, men have really declined in US. Their success in educational terms, in jobs, they are less successful than women. So, you know, there will be a problem if men are trying to become women. And there is this term called metrosexual, which is men projecting themselves as women, you know. They want to wear the dresses like women and, you know, they want to use all the fragrances women use, kind of imitate women. So there they are losing their masculinity. So it's not about copying the feminism. It's about accepting who you are, understand your potential. And that femininity is going to get attracted. Isn't it? So, yeah, so the men are always experts in dealing with change. So they should always put themselves into situations which are constantly changing. And that's where they will flourish. So always go in profession. This is my advice to men. Always go in professions which are changing fast. And if you want to cultivate, anybody want to cultivate femininity, go into stable professions. Nurture. And of course, the best is when there is a synthesis, when there is an integration.
Shiva, Prachiti has asked a question that over various lives, we have been man and woman, existed as both genders at different points in time. When we choose the next birth, do these chakras play any part?
Yeah. So because I've been into a lot of past life regression, I've heard so many stories of past lives from people, and I've had first-hand experiences. Uh, so one of the things I discovered, okay, so here let me also talk a little bit about homosexuality, because there is so much issue in the world about homosexuality. And if we understand things deep, all these issues will simply disappear. And if some of you have also read Destiny of Soul by Dr. Michael Newton, there is also a typical case of homosexuality that has been given there. Mansi, you want to explain that case? You remember? We had discussed about that at some point.
It's not coming to my mind.
So yeah, there was some woman who incarnated as man, and then she was a lesbian, something like that. Okay, so let me share my personal experience. So this happened in one of my workshops. So there was this girl, and she had very strong lesbian tendencies, very strong. And when she explored her past lives, what she realized was that she has been man and a warrior in most of her lives. All the life she saw of herself, they were like men. And there was always a woman he in his male lives was associated with. Now this male somehow is getting this thinking that in a relationship, female always has an advantage. And he thinks that he is not able to get the woman fully because he is a male. So he decides to become female in the next life. And you guess what? That woman who was there in those lives was a male in this life. Now they again met, but they again had conflict. Right? Then there is this realization that it's not about men or women. So this is how we change our genders through lives. When we get frustrated with our own gender, we say, oh my God, it is so unfair to be a man. It is so unfair to be a woman. Let me be this, let me change my gender. All right. And that's how, so she is a woman in this life, but her soul is very much masculine. So she is still getting attracted to women only. And I would suspect that most of the homosexuality is because of this changing of genders through multiple lives. I think if we can understand these kind of insights, spiritual insights, a lot of these issues of homosexuality will be over. We will understand, okay, so, I mean, there was a man and now she became a woman, so she's homosexual, so this is how it is. But even that person will understand that there is a non-acceptance of her own gender. That's why she changed the gender, right? So I would consider homosexuality as natural, but I wouldn't consider it good. I wouldn't consider it as an offense, right? I wouldn't consider it as a crime, but I would definitely consider that if somebody is a homosexual, that person has to become aware that there is some kind of a rejection which is inherent in their soul, and they have to really work on that. I know I am making a very controversial statement in a society where it is fashionable to say that, oh, homosexuality is perfectly normal and there's nothing wrong. I'm saying, yes, it is natural, but you have to work. There is something missing. There's some spirit within your soul. There's something missing in you. And you can work upon
Shiva,
it.
I will take, okay, I'm not saying it because of fashion or anything.
And let me as I warned right in the beginning, I'm making a controversial statement. So
yeah. No, Shivo, it is also, it is controversial depending on whom you talk, right? 50% of USA will agree with you. There are a lot of people who think that it is a, that is also there. That is also there. What I feel is that we all have conflicts with our gender and other gender. I think we should all explore. I think not just the homosexuals or this, I think heterosexuals, any kind of sexuals, we are having conflict with our gender, with the opposite gender. And I think that we all need to explore that in ourselves. I don't think we have reached, I don't think any of us can say that we are living, our union with the other sex is Maharas yet. I think we all have ways to go in our synthesis with the opposite gender or with our gender, wherever we are in a relationship. I feel we haven't reached there, whether on this side, on the hetero side or the homo side. I feel we still need to reach there. I feel we are all
talking about the, I forgot, we were talking about the alpha man.
Shiva, and then just to give everyone an idea of where we are going next, after this, we're going to discuss a little about men and Maharas, and then we will go into invocation, right? So we should be going into invocation very soon.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues. I think this topic is, literally, I know there is so much interest in this topic. Somehow we have been intending to have this discussion for years. And I'm happy that we are having this discussion now. And I know a lot of things. When we really look at the consciousness perspective, this is going to be an extremely controversial topic, extremely controversial. Because if we really have to look at spirituality, if you have to look at the reality of this moment, we have to let go of so many of the moralistic thoughts we have been kind of, taking on, carrying in our heads. Because the times have changed. There was a time where all kind of crime could be forgiven. But if somebody had sex other than marriage, that crime was so horrible, that couldn't be forgiven. It was just 100 years back, 200 years back, 300 years back. So there were, in London, there used to be cages, like you have the cage where there are parrots are sitting inside and they're flying inside. So they will have these cages where they will put a man inside, or a woman inside. And that cage will have, okay, this man committed extramarital affairs or something, the biggest crime. And then people will come, they will spit, they will throw stones. And in Islam, there was a punishment that if a woman has committed even little bit of this or that, even today, if in Saudi Arabia, I don't know about what it is right now, but 20 years back, if the toe of a woman could be seen, if it is not covered when she has gone outside, it was such a big offense that she could be like awarded with 50 lashes for that. She could even be killed for that, right? So the sexuality was the greatest crime, just 100 years back, just 300 years back. But look at today's time. Today we are talking about the sexual freedom today, right? And a lot of people consider that these times are extremely chaotic and they have destroyed our society. And a lot of spiritual people will advocate, go back to the old times, and there were those morals, and live those morals, and there is this married life, and the family has got fragmented, it is finished, But if you really go, I went very deep into those questions, and the answers I arrived that whatever is happening today is for a society which is going to be far more evolved. Marriage is a gone institution. It's not going to exist. We will need to discover some other institution. Marriage is completely outdated. I don't think it's going to exist after 2 generations. And whatever chaos we are seeing today is because marriage is not working. And what is the new institution? We don't know. The old morals of sexuality are not working. And we don't know what are the new morals of sexuality. So if we have to come to right understanding of what are the right morals for the current age, what are the right sexual morals of current age, what is the right relationship between man and woman, and what should be the foundation of society, we have to very deeply understand the nature of man and woman. We have to really go at the consciousness level, not at the moral levels, not how we have thought about everything morally. But we have to really ask the cosmos today. We have to ask the space, okay, tell me the reality. And the reality will come to you. And when we know the current reality, that's when we will be able to define the right institution, the right morals for today's age. Yes, Mansi.
Yeah, Shiva, and I think that we will discuss more about this in our workshop also. Shiva, there's a very beautiful question by Dave. He says that, you know, how about the soul? Is a soul, we all are souls. Are we, like, is soul masculine or feminine? Is masculinity and femininity a quality of the soul?
Right. A lot of people earlier used to say that we are Shiva Swarupam. That's like masculine. But I wouldn't say the soul is Shiva Swarupam. Soul is Shiva Swarupam and Shakti Swarupam both.
Dave, does that answer your question? I mean, does that say your, like, did we address your question?
And actually in Quanto Life, what we have discovered and what we practice is even more than that soul is Shiva and Shakti together. The process of Shakti. Okay, now listen to this very carefully, because when you listen to this, when you understand this, you will have a very, very different understanding of spirituality. So the soul is Shakti merging into Shiva, and Shiva manifesting as Shakti. And actually, when you actually practice Quanto Life practices, when you go deep, you will understand what I'm talking about.
Shiva, I don't know.
It's very difficult to answer a lot of questions conceptually. You can only experience them. Yeah.
Shiva, do we want to go into, I know it's getting time for invocation. Do we want to go into the alpha and beta, or do we want to do that another day? Or we want to, I think we should definitely go into Maharas, you know, the misconceptions and what Maharas is.
Yeah,
should we?
Mansi, you can explain Maharas. So we'll go into, I know we talked about the 7 chakras, but okay, let me just quickly go through the chakras. Let me go through a little bit of alpha man and all that. So I was very curious about, you know, there were a lot of books. There used to be a lot of books 10 years back. Still, there are a lot of books on dating secrets and how do you, you know, some of them would use terms like how to trap women, how to victimize women, and a lot of them will have flowery language. Yeah, learn the text to attract women. So what, because I read some of those books and I watched some of those videos, what basically they were teaching was that because the woman, now see, one of the very, now this is a very classic contradiction, okay. The classic contradiction is that there are very few men who are at the status of solar plexus, of power, okay. And large number of women are at Swadhistram Chakra. And that large number of men are there at root chakra. So the problem is this, that the women are not attracted to those root chakra men. They are attracted to the solar plexus men. And the number of solar plexus men is very few. Right? So we have this typical contradiction in society where large number of women will get attracted to a small number of men. Right? And that can create a huge conflict. So that is one of the biggest challenge of current times. How do we resolve that? So all these dating books and techniques, what they were doing is they were trying to teach how do you project a false persona of a solar plexus man. You may not have power, but what are the tactics, what are the strategies that you can project that you are actually a powerful man. That's what they were teaching. They were like false manipulative strategic games. That's what is a typical alpha man. Alpha man who is trying to show himself as a powerful man. Actually, from inside he's weak.
And I think to be fair to men, even women learn the tactics, because they were the the physically weaker sex in some way. So even they learned, how to manipulate men, so that they would be protected. And so I think that both of them learned tactics, right? Both of them learned strategies. Yeah. They were,
especially
the women learned, that do not surrender to the man. Yeah.
Especially the large number of men, very, very large number of men are still at root chakra. So women know how to manipulate them. And I have seen everywhere. I mean, I have seen large number of cases, women manipulating these helpless root chakra men. Yes, they are lower than you, but they are like royally manipulating them. Because these, root chakra men, they have no sense of joy in their life. They have no mastery. So they would do anything to get that woman. They are ready to destroy themselves to get that woman. And the woman is taking full advantage of that. So there are lots of these sexual politics going on in the world, and it's really destroying the world. We really need to understand the divinity. And for us to understand that divine sexuality, we have to really, those old morals are not working. Those divine concept of sexuality, that there is a husband, there is a wife, and there is sex, that's a gone concept, gone. We have to let past go to past. We have to create the future. We have to create what is right in this moment. We can never find the right solution by referring to the past. A lot of people talk about, going into the past institution again and see how horrible the world has become, how things were settled as family, and there were husband, wife, they were committed for lifetime. That's not possible in today's era. If you are unique beings, there are chances that the person you have attracted is not your soulmate. And why you want to be with that person if that person is not your soulmate? Why you want to destroy your life just because the moral exists that once married, forever married? Why? I mean, are we not killing ourselves? Are we not killing the society itself by following this kind of moral? So there are large number of questions. Okay. And the most difficult questions for the world, as well as for the spiritual people, are these questions of, gender conflict. They are really the questions which are very difficult to even address, even to acknowledge. The difficulties is so difficult for people. Yes, Mansi, I think we have taken a lot of time. So let me just quickly. So there is solar plexus. Then After solar plexus, the feminine chakra is the heart chakra, which is love. Again, it's a very deep understanding. I wouldn't go into that. The next chakra, Vishuddhi Chakra, is again a masculine chakra, which is about the revelation of unknown, the knowledge. How does the knowledge get created? That you explore the unknown, you delve into it, and it manifests to you. So there is this revelation of unknown. That's a masculine chakra. The third eye is again a female chakra. If you see the kind of determination woman has, men cannot have. So she can really create. Once she's determined about something, she will just go ahead and do it. The third eye chakra is again a woman chakra. But the Sahasrara is actually a male chakra. You know, I have seen so many females leading workshops, and so many female gurus. But till today, I have not found a single female guru or workshop facilitator who talked about merging into cosmos. Never, not a single one. Everyone who talked about merging into cosmos, everyone is a male. Though there are also very rare number of males. Even males don't understand that concept. Very, very few male will understand the concept. And that is the highest concept of all. But everyone who has talked about that concept is a male. So the female will very often talk about visualization and affirmation, and you have this, they talk about subconscious, and then they say you have such negative subconscious. Now let's change it. They're talking about changing. They're talking about taking the control in their hand. I will control my destiny. And that's where the limitation is. That's where the deep trust into the cosmos is missing. That cosmos has its own intelligence and it takes care of us. That understanding is very masculine. It's a very masculine understanding. That we can just surrender everything to the cosmos. And then we get the right direction, the right solution. So the third eye, the women are very strong. That's why if you see, the psychic experiences of women are always much stronger than men. They will see things, they will smell things and all that, right? And men always wonder, oh my God, is my process not going deep, or what wrong I'm doing? So I'm not seeing these lights, I'm not seeing these visions. No, that's not the male nature. That's a female nature. Because she has a very strong third eye. What is male nature? Male nature is to merge in cosmos. So these concentrated experiences are not going to happen to men largely. They will still have some experiences, but not men. But what experience men will have? Men will have this experience of vastness, that I exist everywhere. That I can, okay, the issues I have, the issues society have, the issues my people have, I can just, you know, these issues can be given to cosmos in deep trust, and the solution for everything comes to us from cosmos, and I can be the cosmic channel. That is the highest masculine understanding. Yeah,
Shiva,
so
I had a question.
Yeah, so it's a very brief understanding of chakra. Maybe in the workshop we'll go much deeper. Yeah.
Shiva, like, you know, if a woman is having a psychic vision or something, or if she's having a psychic experience in sadhana, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's living in the sixth chakra the whole time, right?
Right, not
It would be
necessarily.
very hard to live there. Like, you know, I see so many female masters, you know, they get these amazing visions, not just what is going to happen with one person in the future, but like amazing visions on where the world is going, or like, you know, they're able to.
It all comes wrong. It doesn't come right.
Yeah. No, but they're able to manifest. That's what I'm saying. They have a amazing third eye power to manifest things, right?
No.
They can have that.
See, one of the misconcepts is that if you are having psychic vision, you will be able to solve that. So you may be able to have the psychic vision of what exists, where is the problem. And the solution you are getting is a very limited solution. It's not a cosmic solution, and it's not going to work in most of the cases. So, but the men will not have the psychic vision, but they will still be able to resolve it without having that psychic vision. Because that is the seventh chakra function, that the intelligence of how to dissolve a problem, it comes from cosmos. It doesn't exist inside me. It doesn't exist in a known structure. Man is not nervous about unknown. That is the most beautiful thing about man, is that they are not nervous about unknown. They can just dive deep into it. They can just jump into the unknown. This is the most beautiful thing about man. And all the men, there are a lot of men today who feel threatened, who feel disempowered today. Explore this dimension of yourself, that you can live in unknown. This is the biggest sutra of empowering masculinity. And this is what is needed in today's world, because the kind of problems we face today, we cannot find solution from the known. It is impossible. Solution of all the problems never existed in past. Going into the past is not the solution. You will have to create them. And for that, you will have to go into unknown. And man has that capacity.
Shiva, we have a couple more questions before, after that we can go into invocation. One is asked, how about Meera? So I would like to answer before Shiva answers. So my understanding of Meera is the devotion, and I feel that maybe he started from the heart, and I felt that he kept on going higher, because when she would sing, it would go to her throat, and people could experience Krishna, and I feel that energy went going higher and higher, and when seventh, I feel she just disappeared. I think she disappeared into. That's how I feel, and now, of course, I want to hear from Shiva what he thinks. But I feel that she just disappeared. What do you think, Shiva?
I mean, I'm just wondering.
She just merged into it.
If I should say, I'm just wondering if I should say some controversial things, because I know what I say can become very controversial. But anyways, I don't claim to be saying truth, but I do claim that everything I'm saying is based on my own experiences. And so I have seen the lives of many of the Bhakti Marg saints. I have seen their past lives, and I know where they are. I have seen where they were before they were into Bhakti Marg. I've known their thousands of years of life. So, for example, I've known about the journeys of Meera. A lot of us in Quanto Life know about the journey of Sant Tukaram, right? So there is something, now it is very controversial, but the truth is that in that life, they did achieve that state of oneness, but not even in that life, in certain moments. But in rest of the moment, they would be in huge crisis.
So they can't stay, right? Maybe in that moment she was able to stay. Yeah, she was able, and I feel it happens in bhakti. You reach there and then you come back to.
You slip. And why do you slip? Because you have not dissolved your subconscious. Your subconscious is still there. So I have seen a lot of these sant, including Mirabai and Tukaram, living very difficult lives after that life or before that life. Very difficult lives. And because their subconscious, when it got fully expressed, they took horrible lives. I mean, some of their lives were very cunning, very manipulative. Really, if we have to understand, a lot of people talk about, a lot of people question Quanto Life practices, and they say, oh, why should we confront our negativity? We can just let go of that, and we can go into different space. We can be happy why to look at my anger, why to look at my sadness. It's very, very dangerous to avoid that. Because today, maybe you were born with the right horoscope where you can evade your subconscious, right? But I mean, when there is subconscious, it will push you into a horrible life. You will have to take another life where, so you are just living a split personality, where with the help of positive thinking is really a poison, complete poison. Because in positive thinking is not at all spiritual. Affirmations, visualize, they are not spiritual practices. Because they are looking you, a very small part of you, the conscious. And they are trying to strengthen that. But the spirituality, the transformation happens when you are totally, fully present to yourself. And if you are not fully present to yourself, if you are just partly present, there is all the danger of you turning into a split personality, that subconscious of yours turning into a huge disease, and definitely taking a next life, which is horrible. Because in this life, you suppress the subconscious, but it is going to just, it's just going to erupt out. So any spiritual seeker, anybody who's a seeker, real seeker, has to drop all these complete nonsense of positive thinking and affirmation. Not spiritual things. You have to know who you are. You have to know your beautiful side. You have to know your ugly side. And you have to develop your mastery. You have to know how to know your ugly side and transcend it. Not avoiding your ugly side, transcending it.
Shivo, shall we get into invocation now? I think we have more questions, but we can
These
continue.
are just stories. Mukul, these are just stories. These are not truths. These are the mythologies which develop.
And and I feel that no matter how much we know about this, I feel there is still mysteries. It is still a mysterious, and we will know exactly how past lives were and all. I feel it is a mystery. I feel the more we know, right, Shivo, the more we know, there is more we don't know. And it is a mystery. Like no one can say, there are so many people who have seen past lives as the same person also. So there are different theories for that also. So I would say that we have to take our own experiences. We have to go to the next level. And these are all concepts. These are all
I don't know. Mukul, in those moments, they were merging in divine, but overall, they did not. So I don't claim that, okay, first my claim is that whatever I am saying is based on the truth I've experienced. That is the first thing. I don't claim it is the highest truth, because there will be more truth which I don't know.
But and it may not be complete, right? It may not be the complete truth.
I'm not claiming that I am sharing the complete truth. But one thing I can say for certain. One thing, now this is something 100% I am saying. Avoiding your subconscious does not result into any solution. You avoid your subconscious, you reach the peak state of ecstasy that will not merge you into divine. If your subconscious is not dissolved, you will have to come back to that agony, to that pain. You will have to take more lives where that subconscious will rule you. It does not matter how high you have gone in a particular life in terms of ecstasy. You will have to still take lives to confront, to dissolve your subconscious. So that is one thing. There I can say that I'm really speaking a truth which has no contradiction. You will have to work on dissolving your subconscious. There is no other way out of this. There is no way out of this. And however much we try for the harmonization of masculine, feminine, trying to understand, trying to sort out things, nothing will work unless we first dissolve the subconscious about this gender conflict. First thing. Second, unless we connect with space, we will not get the vision for future. And the past is not working. Whatever past morals you have, whatever is written in our shastras, whatever the best ways that are written, not working anymore. We have to create something new.
So Shivo, can we, I think we can continue this discussion further on, I think there's a lot of interest in Bhakti Marg and, you know, in that, and we'll continue this discussion on our groups. But Shivo, can we go into invocation space now?
Yes, please.
Can we move
Mansi,
that?
you want to conduct invocation today? Why don't
Shivo,
you
you
conduct?
do it.
No, Mansi, you conduct.
Okay, so
Mukul is
what
saying
are the
they forget
offerings?
themselves.
Yeah.
Mukul is saying they forgot themselves. There is no ego left. There is no ego left in that moment when they are in ecstasy. The moment they fall from there, the moment they are not in that ecstasy, they again got into the super ego. Yes, getting into that subconscious can dissolve, getting into that state of ecstasy can dissolve the subconscious if they are present to it. See, the problem is that this has been taught to us, and it's a horrible teaching, that when you are in that peak state of divinity, why bother about all the ego and all the negativity and anger? No, sorry. When you are in that peak state of ecstasy, that's when you need to recall what is horrible about you, because you can very quickly dissolve it. It will get dissolved very quickly in that moment. But if you don't remember that in that moment, you are in the bliss of divine and everything, and you have forgotten that you are also a horrible person. You've forgotten that in that moment. So what will happen? You will live that divinity and bliss, and then you will again become the horrible person. And you will see this happens with so many artists. There's so many singers. There's so many painters. Understand? When you know some of the singers, like, there are Anup Jalota and all, when they are singing, you say, oh my God, how divine. You will find so many classical musicians, you say, oh my God, how divine. They are in such deep ecstasy. But then they fall down, and then you wonder, oh my God, they have such a horrible side to themselves. How come these two things are existing? Yes, they do exist. And unless you begin to observe, when you are at the peak of ecstasy, that's when you have to remember that you are horrible. And that's when it will dissolve. Just going into the moments of ecstasy is not going to dissolve how horrible you are. So this is what has happened with all the Bhakti Marg people. All the Bhakti Marg saints, they had this issue. Most of them. There were very few who did not have this issue. Maybe I would say, like Nanak, I don't think had this issue. So Nanak, I would say, is like in pure bhakti. He is also very aware, right? So Nanak is in pure bhakti. Kabir is in pure bhakti. But the same thing I cannot say about many more saints. Yes, Bhakti Marg has no observation. So Neha, we keep having the sessions on various gods and goddesses, including Ma Bagla Mukhi. So join our one of the Quanto program, and then you can join our daily program Akhand Diya, where we every day we invoke a god and goddess, and we have also invoked Ma Bagla Mukhi. And I also have videos on Ma Bagla Mukhi when I visited the temple in Himachal. There is a Bagla Mukhi temple. So search for Quanto Life YouTube channel. You will find my video on Bagla Mukhi Ma. Yes, Mansi. I know there are lots and lots of questions. I have not been able to read. Only few questions popped up in front of me, and that's what I could see. I'm sorry that I have not taken most of the questions. And I know this is such a deep topic that evokes a lot of emotions. And there are a lot of questions. So thank you everyone for participating. But now I think it is quite late. Time to move into
We'll continue this discussion. I know it is very interesting. Please, when you are posting on the group, we have more time to process and look at those questions. So please share there. You're welcome to this workshop on Ardhanarishwar that will be starting on 12th March on Friday. And we also have a DYC program, which is our signature introductory program, which will be held, I think, next time in April. So, please join our groups because all the information will be in there. Rupali and Natika have shared their phone numbers for you all to contact and ask more questions. So Shivo, now we will go into observing our own subconscious. As it was said, it is so important. Should we take offerings from people? Should we share what is our conflict or what quality we want to imbibe, I think, right? So you can, if there is,
what is the conflict, what is missing?
Yeah, what is missing in you? So we always invite people to give offerings. So, to share, they could share what is a conflict that they have with masculine, in a masculine feminine relationship, or any quality that they would like to imbibe from, the other gender or something. Like, for example, I think the quality that what I want to offer is, maybe my ability to dwell more into an unknown. It is more of a masculine quality, I think. That is what I want to get into. I like to remain in the known sometimes, or even if I try to go, I do find solutions from what I have known. So I would like to offer that. I invite everyone, and then we'll immediately go into invocation. So if I can invite people, is everyone clear on the sharing, on what are we offering? And then we will go into invocation. So can I request some of our quantum members to start, because they're used to offering. So so Rashi, so there are two things. That one, we can share what conflict we have with the opposite gender. Maybe we don't understand them. Maybe we get into fights with them. The other thing we can get into, what quality from the other gender that we need to imbibe, like more adventurous, more psychic, more receptive, ability to relate. Atan is offering non-acceptance of changes. Yeah, I think chaos. Lalit is saying he wants to be more psychic. Anyone else? I think Preeti shared that she wants to imbibe the masculine. Ranjana says fearless exploration. Durga says more confidence. Rashi says risk-taking. Yeah. All these masculine qualities. Mukul says he wants to imbibe more sensitivity. Ranjana says physical strength. Shivo, are we going on the right track?
Yeah, so I would say for today's purpose, let's not say I want this, but say this is missing in me. Because we are going into the reality observation. So reality observation is not I want it. Not that I want psychic abilities, but psychic abilities are missing in me. So when you are in this feeling, it is easier to observe.
And Shivo, we will be invoking Ardhanarishwar, right, today? Yeah. Should we do left and right body scans?
No, I think that may be too complicated for you to do that in the workshop.
Okay. So just body scan. Okay. So many people are joining in for the first time. So we usually do 3 types of pranayams to raise our energy, right? So one of the pranayams is just belly breathing. We bring our attention to our breath. We breathe in, we expand our belly, and we breathe out. I breathe out through the mouth usually, and we let our belly in. So just normal belly breathing, breathe in, expand like a balloon, breathe out, and bring your belly in. The next one is humming, where I like to put the tip of my tongue to the roof of my mouth and I keep my lips slightly open. I breathe in. Then when you breathe out, you make the sound. So this is belly breathing. And then finally we have heart chakra breathing, which is really opening your heart. Opening your heart. And you know, when you do the humming, feel the vibrations. You know, they may start from your lips, but these vibrations keep spreading in the body. So you'll observe that. And finally, heart chakra breathing, where because I teach kids, so I put my hand on my heart, but you don't need to. So you breathe in, you raise your shoulders when you breathe in. When you breathe out, you make the sound ha. So breathe in, raise your shoulders, breathe out. And what you will find when you do this, you will find that your breath, it feels like it is coming from it is going to the heart and coming from the heart. So we will do these three pranayams and we will invoke Ardhanarishwar. We also invoke the quantum vibrational fields at the beginning of every session. And that would be just 3 words, quanto, quanto, quanto. And what happens is there is this entire vibrational field that Shivo downloaded, right, when he started Quanto Life. It was something that was needed, so that got channeled through him and this vibrational field was created. Since then, we have invited so many masters, so many devas in this vibrational field. This vibrational field has all these masters and devas. It also has our collective sadhana. It includes everyone who's in Quanto Life and their sadhana. So you are accessing, and so this, when you say quanto, 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 we are entering a vibrational field, just like the vibrational field of a temple. You know, you go into a physical temple, there is a vibrational field, there is a kshetram. Similarly, we are entering into the kshetram of Quanto Life. Okay. So any questions before we start? So we have had more sharings. Pankaj says that surrender, you know, there was this point I wanted to mention about surrender. It came up in our conversation with Shivo yesterday, and I think I'll share it on the group maybe or during the workshop. Deepa wants to surrender her imbalance in masculine femininity. Or Sandhya wants to surrender devotion and the calm patience. Rashi, better finance, Nitika, fast decision making. Jyoti, hard work. Poonam says psychic is missing in her. Prachiti says she takes a lot of the conflict, you know, when she takes a lot of time to get ready for a party. I think you speak for a lot of us, Prachiti. I think Jeet says her inability to make strong decision in certain circumstances because of emotions, the issues she's facing. Ajayji says more understanding. So Shivo, shall we go into invocation now?
Yes, yes.
So I invite everyone to sit comfortably and we'll keep our eyes closed throughout. In fact, after we will go into Shavasana at the end of our thing, and then we won't come back. I'll end the meeting. Please stay in Shavasana for 10 minutes. If possible, go to sleep. So just now, even before you start, just keep some space so that you can just lie down and go into Shavasana. We'll keep our eyes closed the whole time. And in and in Quanto, we usually keep our palms open on our knees, and yeah, usually do that. Okay, sorry. So I invite everyone to sit comfortably. Keep your spine as straight as possible. Your palms are open. And now we will scan our body. We'll feel the top of our head, or rather the region just above the top of our head, which is our connection to the source. We will feel our hair, our face, point between our eyebrows, our eyes, our nose, our mouth. And if you are not able to feel these individual body parts, that's okay. Just observe that. Just observe that you can't feel them. Feel your throat, your shoulders, and feel this awareness flow into your arms, through your elbows, onto your palms. Feel your palms. There are so many nerve endings there. Are you able to feel something? Bring our attention to our upper body, our lungs, which are expanding and deflating. With every breath we take, feeling our heart, the slow machine, feeling our belly, where we digest food and life, our intestines, where we decide what needs to be absorbed, what needs to be sent as waste, our genitals, places of elimination, our legs starting from our inner thighs, moving through our knees all the way to the open soles of our feet. We bring our attention to our back, right from the top of our head to the back of our head. And as I say every body part, just observe. If you feel energy, just be observing of that. For the Shakti awareness at the back of your neck. Let that awareness flow down your spine to your heart chakra, to your solar plexus. It doesn't matter if you're knowing and feeling their position. Just observe that awareness down the spine. Now into from the solar plexus to the Swadhistram, and finally the Muladhara. Feel your hips and buttocks pressing against the ground or your chair. How you're completely aware to your best ability of body. And in this awareness, we invoke the quantum vibrational field. I invite you to repeat after me. Quanto, quanto, quanto. Feel the vibrations of this word. These words may be getting you connected to the quantum vibrational field. And you may be feeling vibrations in your body or outside your body. Whatever you're feeling is the right thing to feel. Just observe. And now we invoke Ardhanarishwar. Invoke Ardhanarishwar in your own words. Ardhanarishwar, Ardhanarishwar, Ardhanarishwar. Feel the consciousness and energy descend on you. As Ardhanarishwar exists in us also. To open ourselves more to receive this Ardhanarishwar. Draw your attention to your breath. As you breathe in, feel your belly expand. As you breathe out, feel it contract. As you're breathing in all those particles. You're breathing in the prana that comes from this Ardhanarishwar. Just feel this enter your body with every breath you take. Perhaps the way we take in the breath and we exhale might also be feminine and masculine. Maybe the incoming breath is feminine. It is how we take it as our receptivity. And when we take it in and when we spread it into the world through our exhale, it is our masculinity. So take a moment and feel both your in-breath and your out-breath. What is the quality of the in-breath? What is the quality of the out-breath? Feel the tapa you do to receive. And feel the relaxation with every out-breath. Which one is longer for you? Which one is easier? Perhaps you know the answer to these questions. Perhaps you don't, but just observe. It's all a part of this journey. And now I invite you to do humming. We're going to do 3 hummings. And after each humming, we are going to just observe, just listen with our whole body to the silence. So breathe in. The sound. Feel this vibration in your body and just listen. Repeat this for 2 more rounds. You're getting more and more connected to yourself and the cosmos. Now we're going to do heart chakra breathing. Breathe in, raising your shoulders. Breathe out, making the sound. Shoulders come down. We'll do this for 2 more rounds. And every time feel as if you're drawing your breath from your heart. And with every out breath, heart is relaxing, expanding. Take a few moments to feel heart. Feel it expand. And now in this state, I invoke the Ardhanarishwar again. And I invite Shiva Shakti, Shivakti to come into us. We bow down to them. Please reveal to us what we are missing, what we need to imbibe. Ardhanarishwar, Ardhanarishwar, Ardhanarishwar. I'm feeling a higher crescendo of both energy and expansion now, and compared to the first time we called them. Perhaps you're feeling it too. And now we offer to Ardhanarishwar. What are we missing? Which quality are we missing in our life? I invite you to go into the incidents related to what you're missing. If you're missing risk-taking, then go into the incidences where you did not take that risk, where you let go of that opportunity, where you did not take that initiative. Maybe the incident where you were not that receptive. Maybe someone told you that, hey, you're not listening. Maybe you don't understand. Go into those incidences. Go into that incidences almost like you're traveling into the past. You're entering a movie. And in that movie, who was the hero? Who were the heroine? Maybe it was a multi-starrer. Go into those. What were the dialogues? What was the emotions? And feel that in your body. Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? Do you feel it in your head, in your shoulders, in your heart, your lungs, your legs? Just go into those incidences. And then see, how do you feel? Do you feel vibrations? Do you feel pain? Do you feel sharpness? Do you feel hot or cold? Any colors? Maybe smells? So now I will let you go into the incidences where you have missed a certain quality of feminine and masculine. This is an experience, this is in sadhana. So please feel it in your body. So I'll let you just be with these incidents for a few moments and have your heart to heart with Ardhanarishwar. Now I invite you to share with Ardhanarishwar, what is your conflict with the opposite gender? Whether in your marriage or in your relationships, or if you don't have the relationship, tell Narishwar what is the state. Show them what are the conflicts. Your anger, your frustration, your loneliness, your lie. Just go into all those incidences, and in this space, when you are going into the vibrational energy of these incidences, Ardhanarishwar will be there. So I give you a few moments to just go deep into those incidences of conflicts with the opposite sex. You might be feeling many things in your body in one place, all over. And now we just let go, just surrender all those emotions, all those feelings, vibrations, conflicts, missings into the vibrational field of quantum. And we just relax and we move to Shavasana. I invite you to lie down straight, keeping your body as straight as possible. Equal weight on both sides of your body. And just surrender and relax into Shiva and Shakti. I will be closing the meeting now. I want to thank you all so much for joining us in this pilgrimage to Ardhanarishwar. All your sharings, your presence, your energy has created this session. And I am so grateful to all of you. So much love to all of you. In Shavasana for at least 10 minutes. And if possible, just go off into sleep. Please share your experiences with us when you wake up on the group. Shubhratri. Love you all. Thank you.